everyone and welcome to a new video on my channel. I'm Adam and today we got Battle of the Beasts All Generation episode number 37. So, it's been a while since I actually recorded one of these, but from when this is uploaded it'll be probably a day or two. So I am just pre-recording some of the next few battles because Luke's now starting to edit them. At the moment, as I'm talking, he's editing episode number 21. So he still has a fair amount to go, but I'm just getting some more done so then we can keep on continuing to the end of round one. Because I'm almost at the halfway point of round one. He's catching up. I mean, and the most respect to Lucas, by the way. Sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble with the carpet underneath my chair. But yeah, episode number 37. Today we got two more beasts fighting it out. Representing Series 16, The Siege of Gwildor. Book number 4, Kanis, the Shadow Hound. And, on the other side, representing Series 21, The Sorcerer's Revenge. Book number 4, Lypida, the Shadow Fiend. So, both of these beasts have actually lost in round 2 of the All Generation tournament. So for this battle, it's anyone's game, really. But there's one I do prefer way more than the other. The battlefield for this one will be a rocky terrain, but with a moonlight, so it's at night time. Rocky terrain, yeah, a rocky terrain at night. Now with that, let's get to the stats. Okay, and now we're back. I will do their weaknesses now. Kanis' weaknesses are harmed by shadows and inability to harm regular beings. When in his shadow form, Kanis can still be harmed by shadows and cannot harm regular beings. Reversion by removal or discoloured fur. If the tuft of discoloured fur is removed, Kanis reverts back to a regular dog. That's his weaknesses, but the tuft of fur will not revert him back to a regular dog, because that's not a thing anymore. Lypida's weakness is photophilia, which sounds really bad, but don't worry. Lypida has an attraction to light, which can be used against her, like setting up a trap which involves light. However, just like the previous tournament, Lypida will have a bit of brain to know that it could be a trap, so she can try and avoid it, but sometimes she won't be able to help herself. But to put it simply, Lypida is pretty much like the Cybugs in Wreck-It Ralph. So we know where that's gonna go. With that, Kanis versus Lypida. Let's get into the battle. So, as the chamber doors open, Kanis bounds out into the middle of the arena, howling at the moon. And Lypida bursts through the sky exit, covering the moon with her broad wings, and causing a shadow to appear on Kanis. Kanis looks up and sees Lypida as Lypida swoops down with her razor-sharp wings to slice at Kanis. Kanis is able to jump out of the way. But Lypida saw him jump out the way and used her tail to just stab at Kanis in the side, already getting the first hit off. Kanis roars in pain and goes to attack by slashing his claws at Lypida, in which Lypida is able to swiftly dodge that. Lypida swoops up and swoops back down for round 2 slicing. Kanis goes into a shadow form and starts moving out of the way. Lypida just goes right through it and doesn't seem to do any injury to Kanis, in which Kanis reverts back to his normal form and slashes at Lypida, which catches Lypida on the tail. Lypida screeches in pain, gets up to a safe distance, and Kanis reverts back to his shadow form. So Lypida can only see his shadow, and Lypida, being a bit confused here, She's just staying up at a safe distance, just flapping her wings steadily, swinging her tail around, just anticipating any sign of movement. And Lypida seems to notice that her shadow of her tail came into contact with Canis's shadow, and it seems like Canis got knocked to the side a bit by that. Canis tries again, but harder, and it knocked Canis further to the side. And Lypida gets the idea. So what she does is that she lifts up her tail, and using the shadow of her tail, brings it down to where the sharp edge of her tail penetrates Canis in the back. Canis roars in pain, and gets out of there as quick as he can, realising that Lypida can use her shadow to attack Canis. Canis, in anger, reverts back to his normal form, and using the nearby rocks, just scrapes his claws along there, causing little sparks to fly. Lypida notices this, and seems rather entranced by it. She swoops down to get closer to the light. Canis sees that and goes to slash at Lypida's face, which knocks Lypida to the side, but Lypida is able to use her wings and appendages to slice at Canis's face as well. Canis yelps in pain and goes to bound towards Lypida to eat her. Lypida is able to bounce away just in time, and Canis reverts to his shadow form so it can't be seen, in which Lypida goes to do a sweep towards Canis, and Canis is ready to attack Lypida, in which Lypida's pulls up at the last second, right before she gets to the ground level, which she would normally attack Canis, flies over. Canis can't seem to reach, and using her wings and tail, slices at Canis on the side, with using her shadow to slice Canis's shadow. Canis reverts back to his normal form, in pain, just suddenly making his way to the centre of the arena, growling at Lypida. Lypida swoops back down and lands right on top of Canis, sticking her appendages inside of him, just digging away at them, at Canis's back. Lypida sticks her tail into one of Canis's eyes, causing him to yelp and start moving around frantically. Canis uses his tail to stab Lypida's abdomen, which pins her to Canis. So Lypida cannot move, but using her wings, she's flapping and slices through Canis's tail, which releases her from Canis's body, and also slices off Canis's legs to where Canis can barely stand on her own. Canis rolls over to where he's on top of Lypida, and he rolls back over again and is pinning Lypida down, and goes to bite at Lypida's head, but Lypida, using her appendages, is able to stop that by sticking her scythe-like appendages inside Canis's muzzle. Blood is dripping all over Lypida. Lypida flaps her wings, which slices at Canis's neck, and blood starts gushing out of Canis's neck. Lypida is getting drenched in blood, and just to finish it off, Lypida uses her scythe-like tail appendage, stabs Canis in the chest, and pulls it down with all her strength, causing blood to start gushing out all over the floor, all over Lypida, and Canis just slumps down on top of Lypida, in which Lypida used all of her strength to roll Canis off. Lypida is able to crawl out, shake off the blood, and flies back to her chamber, ready for her next battle. So with that, Lypida has lost and Canis... Wrong way round. With that, Canis has lost and Lypida has won. Now, if you think Canis should have won, please leave in the comments below why you think that. I could see both of these beasts winning, but I gave the advantage to Lypida because her personality is just as cunning, and if she happened to have hit Canis using her shadow whilst he was in the shadow form, then and she noticed that, which she did, she will be able to use that to her advantage, whereas Kanis wouldn't be able to do anything because Lypida has the flight advantage. So I think my choice is very well justified for why Lypida won. And for that, that's all for this time. If you like what you saw, leave a like, leave a comment, don't forget to subscribe, press the notification bell down in the corner below, and I'll see you next time.